welcome to our 73rd episode of Indiana Mac Guerrilla Radio. I am Joe Caprino, and I'm here with Mike Reiser. How's it going, Mike?
Good, man, good. Enjoyed my Thanksgiving. How about you?
Mine wasn't too eventful, other than tearing up a bunch of floor in our house and sending kids off to grandma, so it's nice and quiet here.
Nice.
We got some nice flooring all tore up, so we're getting some new flooring the next couple weeks. So it's going to be lots of fun in our house. So we're going to be living in our basement. So let's see. Hopefully we get comments now. I think it got fixed. I checked it earlier. We should have comments on our episode.
Also, it's nice and quiet here.
And something.
That was my phone.
Oh, that's yours.
No,
okay. I was like, where's that come from? So hopefully.
What's up, Troy?
Oh, Troy Hahn's in here. Uh-oh. We're in trouble now. Hopefully we're getting some comments.
You got the new Troy Hahn Twitter if you guys are going to follow that.
Oh, yes. That's going to be entertaining. I can tell you that much right now. So, so how the shortened week, a little bit of action, not quite a whole lot. So what, anything big that going on there, Mike, in your area? I know we've been just looking at the rankings and getting those fixed up a little bit.
Yeah, getting ready for an update. Moving guys around as I see like their weights are changed. If we're getting messages, it's always good to get those fixed, especially early on. Chesterton went out to Illinois and did really well. I thought they had a really good showing. Obviously, they have some really, really good guys on their team. So, some top-level state guys. They usually do pretty well there. It's a bigger tournament. I didn't go out to anything. I didn't see anything live. I just checked out everything on track. So, I think I said it last week. Everyone that's using track wrestling, I appreciate you guys. I know Laporte was at the War on the Wabash. So, I was looking at all of their lineup results, and it looked like there were some pretty good matches there.
Yeah, there's some when you get 10, 11 teams there, you get quite a few matches there. So, hey, we have good audio, so we're good here today. No technical difficulties. But yeah, the War on the Wabash always has a lot of good kids. I know trying to find some results is, everyone's tired from the 2 days of wrestling, so they're not putting everything in their on-track wrestling yet. They'll probably do that tomorrow. But we still, I know I looked on our, some people were reporting some results, so thank you to those people. And there should be some results starting to pop in there with everyone's profiles here. So that's always nice to see. We only have 17 right now, but we'll be getting more pretty soon here. So
yeah, the War on the Wabash I always feel like is one that once I update the semi-state rankings, I'll get 5 messages like, I beat this kid at the War at the Wabash. I'll be like, I never seen the result, man. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that should be. That one always. We always have some good matches there. I know, and it's always good. It's a good gauge of where guys are at pretty early in the season. And they're all duels, so everyone wrestles each other, so they're not missing each other most of the time. So, yeah. Let's see. I gotta change something because guests can't make topics and stuff. Okay. Anyway, I saw something on there. Anything else that last week? I know some teams are. This week's going to be pretty big. I was just putting together our. We have that nice little this week in wrestling, so you can see where everyone's at this week. And I think that the tweets. I don't know if everyone's noticed that we've been doing some tweets on dual meets coming up. Each day, so people can check that out. I know a lot of people are liking those. So it's pretty nice to be able to do that. I got to get that ready for this week. Usually I do it Sunday night, so get those all scheduled, and they all tweet out automatically. So the power of the internets. So anything else about?
With a bunch of cool logos.
Yes, yeah, we got the logos on everybody, and it's a lot of fun. So it's good for easy promotion for the teams. They get tagged in it, and they can just retweet it and say, "Hey guys, come to our match. It starts at 6:30," and they don't have to do anything. So that's pretty nice. Any big matches last week that you kind of saw, or any? There's a little bit of results, not quite as many as.
You've seen some teams kind of start off. You got Avon started off Center Grove, but more of the time I see like a lot of guys not in the lineup, so you don't really know what's going on. Maybe guys getting down to weight, maybe guys starting a little bit later. Not a ton of individual matchups that were like standing out where I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got that one in the first week. I seen some guys bumping around. We were talking before we went on about some guys that I was like, man, that guy's my weight was way off on that guy. I thought he was gonna be way lower.
Yeah.
And he ended up just bumping up, which is always good. Especially like when you're a smaller school, so you can get some better matches. I think bumping and helping the teams out, it's always like really a good thing, especially when you're not seeing as many tough. Everyone can wrestle the schedule that like Brownsburg or Perry or those guys wrestle. So if you're at a smaller school and you have someone that's going to give you a challenge or someone that's bigger, it's always good to kind of jump around and get those matches early on so you can get ready for the postseason.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're probably maybe tonight or early tomorrow we'll have a new set of at least state rankings, so everyone can look forward to those, and then make sure everyone's weights are going to change again. So that's the biggest thing with the rankings right now, just trying to get everyone's weights. Not a lot of big results, but this week we're going to have lots of results, lots of results.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to go. I don't even know if I want to talk about it because we got. There's so many good results going through. I'm kind of looking forward to it. What were you gonna say?
So this is like after Thanksgiving. I feel like that's when it really kind of kicks off. There's we talked about Capital City and War on the Wabash and those tournaments early on, but now we're starting to get into like a week where there's gonna be a lot more people competing, a lot more matches that are ready to go.
Yeah, no, there should be this week. Brownsburg hits the mat. They hit the mat twice. They have Westfield. It's my earmuffs there, Brett. So that way I want to look cool with my headphones on. They're not even doing anything. You got Brownsburg wrestles this week. They have Westfield. Westfield should be pretty solid. They always have some good kids. I guess you're not gonna get Kyson Montgomery Eldred match. Round 17. But
Maybe.
And then they go to Harrison, Ohio. Interesting. There'll be East Central's there. Some Ohio teams: Franklin Central, Franklin County. No, that's Lebanon, Ohio. Then Roncalli is there actually also. So we might be seeing a early Brownsburg Roncalli match, and that's going to be juicy.
Maybe Briar Hall, Viduya, or Briar Hall, Tice Fragi too.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Should be some, I don't know how they do it. I assume it's kind of pools then championship, but I don't know exactly because there's about 8 teams there and mixture of Ohio, and I don't know exactly how good some of the Ohio teams are. Ohio doesn't do Indiana definitely makes more dual type teams. In Ohio more is geared towards a tournament teams, so they'll have some good kids and then some not as good kids. So another one with Ohio teams, the Cathedral Super 6. It's actually only Super 5. I think they only have 5 teams. Avon, Culver Academy, Cathedral, Warren Central, and then Cincinnati LaSalle, who is like nationally ranked. I want to say like 15-ish. We'll check the internets, but that should be a good one there. Definitely interested in seeing some of those matches there. High school rankings, LaSalle. Oh, they're 11th in the country, so that should
not too bad.
Yeah, and I did get a little bit of a roster of them. So there should be some really good matchups. I think Seltzer might is probably scheduled to wrestle a state champ from Ohio. I know Bailey's gonna. I mean, they're pretty loaded from top to bottom. I think in the 70 like 220-ish, they're a little bit. I know they're a little bit down there, but everywhere else they're pretty solid with state placer level kids. So and that will be the Indiana SRN Sports Reporting News something. There's a link on there. Let me see. Got this great link here. That will be streamed live. So Indiana SRN.org, and there's a link if you go into the into the schedule event, you can click on the link and you'll be able to watch the event live Saturday. So if you're not at an event, pull it up and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you are, you can probably watch it from your phone. I think those are always pretty cool.
Yeah. So that should be. I mean, Avon has some hammers, obviously. Culver's going to have some hammers. I know they lost a few, and then Warren's obviously pretty good. I mean, we're going to get a Warren Central Cathedral match early on. That's going to be very. I mean, that's going to be telling on for how Team State's going to line up. I think both teams should. Warren played a little bit later. I think they were like semi-state-ish, so they're still be a little bit rusty football-wise, but it should be interesting there.
Yeah, I think it's always a good one.
Yeah. Warren should be. Who's Warren have? They have. I mean, 32 through. I mean, they have. I mean, Warren's tough, top to bottom.
26, 20.
Yeah.
20 through 60. I mean, they're all. I mean, 20 through or 26 through 52. They're all ranked.
Yeah.
Because you have Perry, all the way through Coleman, and then up top they have some ranked guys.
Yes.
But I mean, those dudes are so well coached. They're dangerous across the board, and they wrestle a ton.
Yeah. Yeah. So that should be good. Culver obviously going to have 60-pounder. Brady Welch, Eli Pack up top. Sinkovics should be back from an injury from last year. So
Yeah.
Avon has, they're gonna have Rio, Tyler Conley, Garcia.
I'll be interested to see because they wrestled this week, and I mean some of their guys were in different weights, but I think once they start getting everything scheduled up, they could have 4 or 5 ranked guys in there too.
Yeah, definitely. Avon usually wrestles their guys up a couple early on, and then they'll drop them. So we could see. I mean, you could see a Ray Rio versus Bailey match there. You could see. I mean, Bailey's either getting Rio or Conley most likely, or Jaden Reynolds. I mean, there's some pretty good middleweights there, so that should be interesting. Could see a Brady Welch versus Rogers match. Yeah, man, they have a lot of.
Yeah, they have Welch at 70 now. I mean, also those guys, the guys in between there, like you have some guys that can knock some people off. Tyler Wagner, Brady, and they have pretty evenly matched. You could have, a match like at 32. I think, you have a handful of 32-pounders. You have Andrew Wilson. You have, number 4 ranked Andre Betty Conley. That's where we have him ranked at. So that's 3, 4, 5 in the state. I mean, possibly going that day.
Yeah. No, it should be. That's going to be one to keep an eye on. Definitely, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, Sinkovich is 11. So Betty 3, Conley 4, Wilson 5, Sinkovich 11. I don't know what LaSalle has.
I could probably figure that out real quick. It's probably like a state or nationally ranked guy. Someone's not going to have a good day that day. 132 is a state placer and Super 32 placer.
Nice. So that's
someone's not going to have a good day.
Yeah. So I mean, you could have Ray Rio in that spot too. I mean, obviously, if they're wrestling kind of what we've been told or where they're at. I mean, maybe Rio's up that day and he's in the mix with Betty and those guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could see a guy that's a top 4 guy in our state that has 3 losses on Saturday at that weight. I mean, that's not 3 bad losses. Those are 3 good losses. That's not going to drop their rankings any. So
no, I mean obviously if there's someone that just gets the doors blown off them, they'll fall some. But for the most part, like those guys are going to be guys that are going to be in the mix. You're not going to be upset by those calls. You want to see those matches.
Yeah. Run down on LaSalle's lineup. They have a junior high state placer 3rd at 106. Then they got state placer, state champ Norris at 126. He's going to Purdue actually. So you go.
That's that Dustin Norris.
Yes. Yeah. And
good.
And then 132 is that guy. We have state placer, Super 32 placer. 38's a state placer. 45's a state runner up. 52 is the Herd kid. Okay, I guess that's the younger brother. Because they had one that was pretty tough. State placer, state qualifier at 170. And then their heavyweight was a junior high state champ, 2 year in 2018, was injured last year. So that guy's
And
they're gonna all,
and they do their middle school state's a little bit different than ours. It's like a mandatory. Every middle school competes in it, right?
yeah, they theirs is, and their middle school state is not classed. So a middle school state champ there is probably, usually that's a good sign that they're going to be pretty good, especially lower and middle weights. Obviously heavier weights. I mean, that's, and they have their middle school wrestling is highly organized. It's as organized and everything as the high school with point system. They have like sectionals type thing, the regionals, and it's a lot more organized than the wild, wild west of Indiana, where everyone has a different season. I know, like in the region, they're starting now, and our guys don't start till January. And there's some teams that start, they go December, early January. It's all discombobulated. So it's one of those fun things of Indiana, the wild, wild west of middle school athletics. So that's going on. You have the Shamrock Slam. That should be some good matches there. I know the Superchargers will be there. Kind of looking forward to that. Always a fun event.
Yeah, I think it's always a really well-ran event too.
Yeah, and it is on track, which is always a good thing. It's easy to follow. Yeah, Carmel, they're going to be coming off they're just getting done with football from Saturday. They were state champions. Crown Point, Carroll, obviously, Fishers, Mount Vernon, Fortville. That's going to be an interesting one. They had a late football run also. Shenandoah, you'll see Allred, maybe. I don't know if he's there. Westfield, Zionsville, Whiteland. I was going to see something. What was I going to look up? Oh, I was going to tell you the pools, because I don't think those are alive yet. Because I know I forwarded those to you.
You did?
I thought I did. Did I not?
No, you did.
Oh, yeah.
I looked at them.
Okay. You said it, questioned me. Like, whoa.
That's because that's how I read it on the screen. I have pre-notes.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Pool A, and the way this is done, there's 4 pools of 4 teams, and they all wrestle each other. Then the number 1s all go into a semifinal bracket. Number 2s go into semifinal bracket. You got Westfield, Valley College Prep, Mount Vernon, and Yorktown. Should come down to Mount Vernon and Westfield. That should be a good one. You got Carmel, Lawrence Central, Noblesville, and Whiteland. The second pool, you got Carroll, Princeton, Zionsville, Ben Davis. And then Crown Point, Northview, Fishers, Homestead there. The winners of Pool A will go to Pool D, which would be probably Westfield, Mount Vernon, likely against Crown Point, and then the Carroll, Zionsville, Ben Davis winner versus Carmel, Noblesville. I think Noblesville or Whiteland. I'm not exactly sure what Noblesville or Whiteland's going to have, but and Carmel's going to be kind of just trying to get their guys down to weight and certified this week, I guess. So
I know some of their big guys were football players, so that'll be tough,
Yeah, so I know Coach Pendowski. He's like, yeah, we've been in a lot, like state finals like 5 of the last 8 years, and the other 3 years they've been semi-state. So that kind of, you just know you're not going to be clicking on all cylinders. You don't want to at this time of year either, but you want your guys to be. You don't want to hurt yourselves for rankings or team state wise type stuff by putting it on the line this early either. So it's kind of one of those, good or a bad thing. You just got to go out there and wrestle and see what happens. So that should be a good one. We got the Harvest Classic. We have someone we know will be announcing that this week.
Yeah, and I'm on the hot mic, so I get to go butcher names. That's always my favorite. Guys coming there with all these crazy names, and they're not crazy names; they're their last names. But I take a glance and then I read it how I think it is, and then they tell me I'm wrong. So it's all good. It's always pretty good. I think. They lost a couple teams here and there. I know the 1 year Perry Meridian was there. So you had Perry Meridian, Penn, Portage when they were, when they had all those guys that were all medalists. And when Brother Rice has had some good guys come through. I don't know. And Brother Rice is a little down. they added Homeward Flossmoor. I mean, I'm not sure how good Homeward Flossmoor is, but I know Brother Rice had some guys, and then they lost a couple dudes. So always have a couple guys that are pretty solid, but overall, this is like the official kickoff for the region for us, I think.
Yeah, there should be some good. I mean, kind of like Indiana, I think Illinois kind of has a lot. They have guys on their teams that are really good, and then the rest aren't as good. They don't really make a lot of good, solid dual teams. So Illinois, you got Brother Rice and Homewood Flossmoor. You got Hobart. You got Hobart. That's how you properly pronounce it. Penn, Portage. A lot of teams with they're going to have 2 or 3 solid guys. So each of those, every weight's going to be pretty good. I believe that's usually on track wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah, they do it on track. I would hope so. I mean, Kyle's there, and he's pretty much a track guru.
He knows how to run track.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And he's double time, and he coaches and runs track. So best of both worlds.
Yes. Let's see what do we have here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Penn looks. Looking at their track, they had some guys that I thought were going to be some impact dudes that weren't on their list. So maybe they come back later on in the year. But a couple guys that were like tick-arounders that weren't in their lineup. So not that they've competed, but generally I look at their roster. But I'm excited to see the 2 freshmen who they have them both listed at 60, but Carroll and Stenbecky.
Yeah. So there should be. I have it up there. We have Andrean, Brother Rice, Calumet, Griffith, Hanover Central, Highland, Hobart, Homeward Flossmoor, Lake Central, Lake Station, McCutcheon, Morton, Hammond Morton, Penn, Portage, River Forest, and South Bend, Washington. So a lot of.
Hobart's coming off a deep run in football too. This could be like. Hopefully they're closer to their weights, but I think Hobart's going to be really good this year.
Yeah, that's going to be their first time probably down to weight, would be my guess. And that's going to, you never know first time. And they might have guys, up weights, or might have guys out of the line because they can't make their weight yet. So that's always, it's going to be interesting.
When we talked about a couple of weeks ago, like they said, like 8 of their 11 defensive starters were wrestlers. So
that's pretty impressive, to say the least.
Yeah. So, Hobart's not a small school. I know some of the smaller schools are able to do that, where you guys got, maybe some of the 1A guys, you're playing football, wrestling, track, or baseball. Hobart's pretty good size, so to be able to double up like that with so many guys is pretty good. Yeah,
that's always good. It's a good sign. So I wonder when the break. Don't they have the seating meeting usually sometime in the evening, or like is it early?
Yeah.
Usually you get invited there sometimes, don't you?
I've been there before. When Morgan was the head coach, I went a couple times. And just, it's always interesting to see. Obviously that's not a part of the side I'm on. So I don't have any, they always say you don't have a dog in the fight. I really don't. But it's interesting to see how people push for their guys and what they say. And I'm always like, especially in the format where like, well, he was a first-round regional guy. Like, but he was 4th in the sectional and there was 4 guys in his weight. Like, I don't know if that makes him better than this guy,
Oh, yes.
I think those are always the things, it's always interesting to me, obviously those guys are going to get the best seeds, but I think for the most part, as long as the best guys are separated, you're going to find out where the best guys are. Like, I don't think, it's like a big deal to be the 5th place at the, Lake Central Harvest Classic. You should probably want to go out there and compete. Yeah,
that's the big thing with that kind of, like the Harvest Classic, it's a one-day event, so you want to be a top 4 seed, and you don't want to be stuck with the 1 or 2 seed basically. So you don't want to. That way, you're pretty much you're going to get 5th at the best. Running into one of those, you want to draw into a 2 or 3 seed, or a 3 or 4 seed most likely. Obviously, you'd rather be a 1 or 2 seed. So there's a little bit extra fighting in those types of seeding meetings. But yeah, the seeding meetings, I'd love to do a live broadcast from the Osmith seeding meeting, because it gets bad.
Yeah. But on the down low, like you want to do it like so no one changes what they're doing.
Yeah,
I guess Lamont Bradley wants me to say hi. I wrestled Lamont. He's added hi Mike 4 times. So what's up, Lamont?
He wants his shout out. So yeah, so
There's the
that's
shout out.
that's
Unless it's spam. Um, yeah. So no, I haven't gone. I think it's usually like the Wednesday before. So then I don't know if they release a bracket right away, but I mean I could probably text Luke and ask him. I don't even know what like Central's lineup is. I haven't even asked him. I just kind of guess at it.
yeah, no, that should
But
be. I mean, there's all those teams are gonna have solid kids, and so once you see the brackets, you're gonna get a little bit better lineup, especially for Penn and Hobart, which Hobart they're kind of running into first world problems where they're having a lot of guys. They got to make sure they're all separated evenly, and no one gets too big or grows too much, or one guy doesn't. They plan on everyone growing and one guy doesn't, and then you're shoving two guys in at 152. What you have two 152 pounders, and you already have a 60, so you gotta have someone cut to 45 or go up or whatever. That's I know no one's gonna shed a tear for them if they having those types of problems.
And I think like we talked about it a little bit last year. I think they're young too, man. I don't think they have many seniors on their team, so this could be like the first real match where they can really show out. I know they had a lot of guys at the semi-state and didn't have the semi-state showing that they wanted to have. I don't think they sent anybody last year to the state finals, right?
No, they did not. They lost quite.
I'm sure that was the first time in a while, and I know they had a lot at the semi-state. So
yeah, that was not a good. They wrestled Munster twice. I was just looking at their schedule. We'll delete that. See, I edit the website as we're talking.
He's multitasking, guys.
Yes. But yeah,
that's what those headphones are for.
Yes, I got them pretty cheap because I complained on Amazon about a former pair and they upgraded me, so I'm not gonna complain there. Yeah, so they should.
Jeff Bezos has the money to waste, Joe.
Yes. So yeah, I don't believe that. I mean, they had like 10 guys at semi-state, and they were one of the vote-ins, I believe, for team
they
state.
missed it.
Oh, they missed it.
They were in the mix, but I think they went with Avon and Mishawaka. I think Mishawaka is really good too, and obviously Mishawaka got better adding Joe Thomas, but or John Thomas, not Joe Thomas, John Thomas. But I thought sounds like Central Nova with the win over Yorktown.
Yes,
they posted that on there, and they only have 9 wrestlers. Central Nova only had 9 wrestlers.
Yes,
that's tough. Giving up 5 forfeits, that's a tough win.
Yes, it is. Let's see, where's Hobart here? Oh, jeez. Oh, Hobart. They did not advance anyone because they had 11 guys at semi-state and no one advanced. That's not good.
Yeah.
that's a rough day that's a rough day, but I mean they're all young. I mean let's see. I was gonna go look at that.
I think they only had one senior in their line that lost. That was Vode at like 82.
Yep.
But other than that,
70. Yeah.
Heavyweight. Heavyweight 220.
Yeah.
95.
2 freshmen, 3 juniors, 4 sophomores. So they're going to be pretty solid for the next couple years.
Daddy's been very with the quick math for me.
Man, that's at Porter's Education. Let me tell you, that's a top-notch education.
He's seen that. He's seen me using the calculator.
Counting on your finger.
Smoke coming out of my ears.
Yes, yeah. That man, he's quick. I mean, impressed with that Portage educational system. So
he's one of my favorite follows on social media. He always posts pretty good stuff. Him and Artie Fowler. Artie Fowler has like some of the best stuff.
Man, I gotta follow
AJ Fowler.
AJ's dad. The dad.
The dad.
Oh,
the dad's.
Oh man, I need to know that one because he about killed me at state last year. I don't know. Did we ever talk about it? Because I always said that. Oh, he has like 12 kids. He's like, no, I don't. I only have 8 or whatever it is.
Yeah. One, he's funny.
Yeah.
One, he'll whoop you.
Yeah, he's a little intimidating, But I mean, he said it with enough, smile on his face. I wasn't too intimidated, but I was like, yeah, it just seems like there's a million of them. It's like, oh, we only have like 6 more coming through. I'm like, oh, okay.
Man, the youngest one I just seen him, he's huge. For like a 5th grader or 4th grader, he's like just as tall as the dad.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so they make them big. But
Mama Fowler probably could probably rival Mama Warren in cooking. I'm assuming.
yeah, those guys are big, man. Those are big kids.
Yes. So I'm gonna have to get that one. We need to promote that Artie Fowler. Hopefully it's clean.
He takes some vacations from Facebook.
Oh, nice.
He's been known to take a vacation or two.
Not a scheduled vacation, I'm assuming.
No. Oh, man, I want to know who's like going around like reporting people on social media. That's the real question out here.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's fun. So I guess back to wrestling. Let's see. You got Harris. We've already talked about all that. We got all the big events. We got a lot of duels going on. I think the highlight duel is Homestead at Carroll. This is for the NHC Championship, Northeast Hoosier Conference, because technically the conference was disbanded so that they didn't say they kicked out Carroll and Homestead. So this is basically a conference title dual meet.
Do you guys get like something cool?
No. We need to have like a
no paddle.
No paddles. We need to have like a bronze Andy Oberlin trophy or something.
Cowbell, man.
Cowbell. Yes, because cows are Homestead and Carroll, the two most preppy schools in the area. At least their stereotypes is the preppy schools. So it has to be something preppy, like a popped collar polo shirt or something.
Didn't you once tell me like Carroll is like the state champ on like 4-H or something?
No, 4-H.
No.
No.
Maybe I made that up.
No, they do have an FFA, but it's kind of it's not as popular. I mean, because there is a decent amount of farmland in Carroll. It's getting eaten up by additions, though. Now all the farmers are selling 10 acres for $5 million. So they're like, okay, I'll retire. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, forget it. We don't need any kind of grain or anything to eat.
No, farmers are like, hey, I'm retiring. So, other good duels, Perry Meridian at Franklin. That should be interesting just with Tante's return to Franklin. Hopefully sounds like he's a little bit more healed up. No surgery scheduled from what I've seen, so that should be a good one. Obviously, there's a little added heat to the dual meet when you have Coach Tante on the other side.
Those guys love him, man.
Yeah. I mean, you still want to beat him. I mean, that's one of those things that you still want to beat him. Centerville, Jay County, I believe those are both teams at Team State. If I can figure that out real quick, there's a website for that kind of stuff. That should be an interesting match because I know Jay County is in 2A Team State. Centerville, I believe Centerville's a 1A school, and they are at Team State. They're in 1A, so that's two smaller schools are going to be battling out. That should be an interesting match there. We're going to see a little bit of weights with some Jay County guys. Hamilton Southeastern at Avon. Hamilton Southeastern had a couple guys out at the John Hurley. If they're back, that could be an interesting duel. There should be some good matchups there, I think.
Yeah, they have some really solid guys.
Let's see, I can pull that up. I just go back a little bit. Avon, Hamilton Southeastern. They have the Jacob Simone will be at 120, so that you can see him and Garcia. You got Irek there, Ronan Heiner, ranked number 6, Reese Lumen. So there should be some good matches there. And depending on where I think Hamilton Southeastern is usually pretty solid, just top to bottom. So that could be a very interesting match there. As long as they can withstand some of the hammers that Avon's going to have.
Yeah, like I said, I think Avon's lineup's like in flux. I'm interested to see kind of where they land at. But yeah, like that could be a good back and forth because you have so many good guys on both sides that can get bonus points.
Yeah. Chesterton at Portage is reported to start at 7 a.m. I do not believe that's starting at 7:30 a.m. I believe that is
Free day.
I believe that is supposed to be PM. Yeah, that should be. I mean, not that. I mean, we kind of saw Portage last week, and a couple weeks ago. Jeez, there's a lot of them or it said AM. But jeez, they're still gonna have their solid guys, and then Chesterton's gonna be pretty solid top to bottom. It looks like from what we're kind of looking
well,
at.
we kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, where we're texting back and forth. I think not having a 6 is going to hurt them, unless maybe they do, and they just didn't compete with one. But they're really solid across the board in a lot of weights. I think just like really good guys. And Ellis did wrestle 45, so
Yeah.
kind of changes the way state's going to be looking.
Yeah, that's an interesting move. I mean, obviously, he's kind of short and stocky, so it's not surprising he can make it. But he wrestled 52 all year, even off season wise, pretty much. So that's one of those things that
he wrestled 45 at Super 32, right?
I believe so. I don't know if he actually competed. I can't remember if he actually competed or not. But yeah, he's pretty solid. So that's going to be an interesting drop, especially since 52 seems to be kind of wide open. But if that's a better weight class for him, that's a better weight class for him. So,
And they had a nice little article about him in the Times today.
Nice. There's some Times always does a good job with articles. I saw a couple.
Yeah, they find them like weekly. They do a nice job.
Yeah, Dave Melton, I think, is the one that usually writes a lot of those articles. I know he sends me messages all the time. So, where else are we? Oops, that's your picture. Carmel versus Lawrence North. Obviously, Carmel. First look at Carmel. They're not going to have their football guys back, obviously. It's one of those things that I think Lawrence North's going to be getting better. I think they're a little bit down, but they're going to start getting better. They got a couple guys, younger coaches in there that are enthusiastic. Avon's going to...
Lawrence North was missing some guys also.
Yeah. So, they wrestled last week, which is one of those things that you never know early on. Sometimes kids get suspended for random things, or, they're out because they can't make weight. Maybe they missed a practice,
injury.
Yeah, injury, a little banged up. It's early in the season, so it's kind of, you're hearing all the reasons why guys are out, and sometimes you just gotta wait till, this week's really gonna start heating things are gonna start heating up. Harrison, West Lafayette at North Montgomery. Harrison won the war on the Wabash. Looks like they're pretty dominant. North Montgomery always feels a good team, so I think they might.
Maybe we can get a little bump up action there. Maybe we can get Webster and Kreider.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be
Drew Webster number 1, Will Kreider number 3.
Yeah,
could be good.
Maybe we need to send a message down there to say, hey, let's bump this up and stream it. Yeah, that should be a good match. That could be a good match. Both teams. North Montgomery always has solid guys. I think they lost a lot of seniors a couple years ago and starting to replenish the program there. Already said Westfield at Brownsburg. Westfield has some solid kids. I think Brownsburg's going to have a pretty good lineup, top to bottom again. I think they said that probably one of their weaker weights might be like 126, or was it 132?
I heard 130. 126 would be Kyson.
I meant 132. There's one of the middle weights, but that's usually that's weight where you have a lot of bodies, so that's not you're gonna have got and if Brownsburg's anything like like a Carroll that the kids see, all those kids that are not pretty solid, they're gonna all see that 132 is kind of my spot. I don't have to wrestle Kyson or Drake, so everyone's gonna matriculate there, and there's gonna be a wrestle off of 4 or 5, probably at least regional, maybe semi-state level kids wrestling off there.
I know they're gonna. I'm getting roasted on here for being PC, but I think like when we say like not as good for their like state caliber lineup, like would be varsity in 97% of the state's lineup.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're like, oh, he's not that good, but like there's a bunch of schools that would take them.
Oh yeah.
Not Crown Point, because they have a pretty good guy at 132, yes. But everybody else.
Everyone past Crown Point and Leo. Yeah. Greenwood at Roncalli. Good. Our first look at Roncalli. I know some of their weights are kind of in question. and they tend to drop guys sometimes. Greenwood has a couple guys. Oops, wrong thing. I did not want to.
Yeah, I think they always have a couple guys that are. I'm always interested in how they wrestle because I always feel like they have some guys that are in the mix
Yeah,
that like come in with really good records.
yeah, Coach.
Come like sectional, regional time. You're like when you're going through to see like, hey, who did I miss? Like they always like have a couple guys that are pretty good.
Yeah, they Coach Yates does a good job. They have Caleb Oliver's their only guy on their roster on Indiana Mat. That doesn't mean they only have one guy that's like a semi-state rankable guy.
I don't even think Caleb Oliver's on their like track wrestling one.
I know he was a state qualifier at
2-time state qualifier, right?
Yeah, at Cathedral a couple years ago, and moved or went to his home school. Yeah, he's a 2-time state qualifier at 113. So, be interesting if we see him. You can't comment there, Wyatt. You've been banned. Let's see. What else do we have here? North Central at Warren Central. I always like the North Central kids. They're always fun to watch. They'd rather throw you than know you, and they'll go toe to toe with Warren Central. So that should be interesting. That they could. There's going to be at least one match with 40 points scored.
Yeah, they're going to be out there tossing each other for sure.
Yes. If the refs
Central has some guys in there too that are pretty good, man. They have another heavyweight. What was the heavyweight last year's name? He was in the semifinals. Watts, Jermichael Watts.
Yes.
They have a heavyweight now named Makai Watts.
Oh.
So what do you think? Could be related?
Probably. Yeah, they have.
That was a large name.
They have Bradley Harrington at 170. I think he's at 82. I think as I saw in the rankings now.
Yeah.
Cameron Brown is ranked at 220. They got Logan Galbraith at 126. So
Sebastian Bryant's had some good summer results.
Yep, he's semi-state ranked. So there's a lot. I mean, he's semi-state ranked number 4. So he's projected as state qualifier. As of today, but
by Howie.
Yes.
Howie does a great job.
Yes, he does. You got the Rochester at Wabash match. That should be very interesting. I know Rochester's starting to come up. So is Wabash. Wabash has they have some good lighter weights. So that should be an interesting North Central Indiana clash. I think they're both in the same conference too, possibly. And I know.
Isn't that crazy that Rochester used to come out to East Chicago and Maryville? I mean, maybe not East Chicago, but they used to come out to Maryville semi-state.
Not really, because they probably should. they're closer to, and they're probably right in the middle. But it's like the Warsaw, Wawasee, them going to Maryville or East Chicago is a little bit more of a travesty, because I think Rochester's a little bit further away.
Because Wawasee used to go to Fort Wayne.
Yep, Wawasee. Right? Yep, yes. Wawasee actually was in the Carroll Regional. So,
nice.
And then and Warsaw used to go Fort Wayne too. It's been a long while since they did that. I think it's since that.
Yeah, Warsaw came to Maryville before Wawasee did, but I remember Wawasee wasn't in the semi-state for a long time. And then Frankfort used to be in our semi-state for a while too.
Yeah, now they're at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they closer to you guys though?
Who?
Frankfort's by like Kokomo, right?
Yeah.
My geography of the state isn't great, but just sometimes you look at it and you're like, that's weird, man.
Yeah, they are. I'd never been to the hot dog capital of the United States. They're by Lafayette. It's just north of Lebanon. Jeez, they're right in that area where they could go to they're just north of Lebanon. They go pretty much. They're just north there. So Lebanon they go to Newcastle too.
Newcastle.
I was thinking, yeah, but you go a little bit south there, Brownsburg and all them. They all go down south. So, yeah, they're in right. I mean, they're just southeast of Lafayette, so they're not even close to us. But we just picked up Tri-Central a couple of years ago. And I think this year there's going to be some change up, obviously, because of some schools closing down. So I'm kind of curious of what's they're
adding some schools also, right? Like, does it Purdue Polytechnic, does that get Are they in the sectionals this year? Are they in the IHSA?
They have a couple years. They have a year or two before they are IHSA eligible, I believe.
I think Ileana Christian's the same. Like Ileana Christian just came over from Illinois,
Yes.
but I think they were trying to get like instant eligibility, but they did not.
Yeah.
They're like in St. John.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting one since it was technically a school and is accredited and everything, but that's way beyond. You don't see that very often, so that's one of those things that I don't know how they are supposed to rule on that since it's technically not a new school. They just found a better building.
Yeah.
So
I think they built it. It looks nice.
yeah. So that's any other events.
I'm waiting for this Fairhaven Baptist to jump in.
Yeah. That.
They're out here wrecking shop on some teams. I don't know how they did at the War at the Wabash this weekend, but I seen they had some close matches.
Yeah, they always seem to do well. I mean, that's like their state championship or something there because they always do.
They're going to be at the Carl Carnahan.
Oh, nice.
With Brownsburg and Crown Point.
Yeah, hey, they better watch out. Yeah, I don't know why.
I want to say last year they had some kids that like were out there competing with like guys that were semi-state level guys.
Yeah, I don't know what that's a weird school. So I've looked it up before, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Are you bashing their religion, Joe?
No, I don't know what
It's in Chesterton. It's like right between like Chesterton and the Dunes.
Yeah, I don't know, and they have a wrestling team. They obviously field a pretty close to full team, so I don't know what they.
I think they do have like a full team.
I don't know. It's very interesting to see why they don't.
Hector said they had 2 in the finals last year.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, they're in. They got second. Oh, sorry. They got second there last year. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
I think when you lose your headphones, it's not that we we can't hear you. You just can't hear us.
Oh, that's how that works. Oh yeah, I did forget. Sorry, the NSCC World Championships are basically decided this week, and the NSCC Super Duel of Champions, the Travis Barquillo Trophy is handed out to the team champion. And according to Wheeler Wrestling, they don't want the state to control their school, so.
If I can sum that up, they don't want the government.
They're against the government. Yeah.
They don't want Big Brother looking over their shoulder.
Yeah. So that's interesting that that they wrestle in quite a few events, and they obviously have some solid kids, and they just don't go to the state. I don't think they're. I mean, they're obviously not in any state series events, so they just wrestle and then hey, we're good. So I don't know. I mean, you do what you do, I guess. I don't know what the.
Well, they had the runner-up to Jesse Mendez.
Nice.
At 126 in the Carnahan.
Wow. Yeah. No, they probably have some guys that can at least compete for getting to state, and obviously said some semi-state level kids. So depending on where they would be, Chesterton, so they'd be depending on what sectional regional they'd get to. So, but yeah.
They had a champ. They had a champ at 160 for Fairhaven Christian. I mean, I'm sure none of their guys are watching this, and we're just like giving them all these plugs. Elijah Wright, a Fairhaven Christian, beat Noah Hollandiner of Crown Point. So that guy would be a state level guy.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's.
Yeah, Wheeler Wrestling. Get us a lineup, bro. We want to know where Giovanni's going.
Yeah. It says spend your time spamming the message board. Speaking of people that have been banned from places, High Wheeler Wrestling, he can't post messages because he knows better than doing some things. So he knows what he's doing. He knows he's been on the on my watch list.
He said he wants to know why he can't post on Indiana Man.
He knows why.
Now you're big brother.
He knows why. Yeah. Oh wow, they were second at the Carnahan. Wow. Yeah, they have some solid kids. I mean, jeez. They had a runner up at 26, and pretty much everyone placed fourth or higher, other than they didn't have a 6-pounder and 32. So yeah.
Trammell, we're running this so we can watch Wisconsin and Iowa tonight. We're running this early so everyone's going to watch Big Ten Network.
Yes. So, yeah, that's why we're doing it a little early. Plus, my wife's going to get the kids, so it's a little quiet at the house. So I'm not being ambushed by kids. And see, we got about 25 minutes. Any other events to talk about from this past week before we get on the all-decade team?
Nah, I think we covered them all, man.
Yeah, that should be some fun wrestling. We'll have a lot to talk about next week, and I know all the rankers are going to have quite a bit of work to do as long as you report your results. I know we do have the Fort Wayne semi-state rankings. Caleb got those out, and some people are very upset about Yorktown or Jimtown being snubbed at Team State.
It came down to Caleb's vote, and he voted against them. That's unbelievable, right?
Oh, yeah, you're going to get him. He already has Reeve Muncie not liking him right now, so
that's too big of a man to have not like you.
No, I may have taken a stab at him for a couple minutes, and I survived, but he decided to go hard for like 3 seconds, and I saw my life flash before my eyes. So did everybody else. I've made worse choices in life, but that's a top 10. So, anyway, our all-decade team, 125/126. Very, very interesting weight class. There's a lot of guys there that that's a tough weight class there. I believe junior Chad Red, the junior age level, 11th grade Chad Red, even though he's Chad Red Jr., was the one that won the voting.
They ran a nice article on Chad Red this past week in like the Nebraska.
Yeah.
I think you retweeted it, right?
Yeah. Real good article about how he kind of was. Last year, everyone saw him that he didn't wrestle very well pretty much all season, even up until about Big Tens when things started kind of clicking. Kind of tells a little bit deeper stuff, more than just the the standards stuff that you read in an article, the I guess the politically correct kind of stuff that but he went and had some, didn't like wrestling for a while there. Ended up seeing a sports psychologist helping him get things straightened out, and he wrestled real well. I'm kind of it's good to see an excited Chad Red, because when he's clicking, he's tough, and that weight class is going to be fun to watch.
But don't you feel like I'm sure like there's a lot of kids that deal with that in a lot of different sports, but I think like when you have someone, we talked about it a little bit with Eric Allred about like how Chad Red was kind of like a guy that a lot of people looked up to in that generation, and here he is talking about like how much of a grind it is, and how he was like done, like he just didn't want to do it anymore, and how hard it was. And then like how he had to reach out for help and kind of get it. And I think that happens a lot across a lot of different sports. So really good article. If you haven't read it, I think people should kind of check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen a lot more, especially college-wise, that there's a lot. I mean, I think I saw like something where Angel Escobedo was saying that their sports psychologist travels with the team, and and the guys will talk to him, just trying to get. I mean, it's a grind. It's tough. I mean, and sometimes you got to figure it out. Sometimes, it doesn't hurt to talk to someone. Someone that's a sports psychologist can help you get things straightened out and do what you need to do. And wrestling is a tough sport, and sometimes we don't think we need the help we need in that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, I can do it. I just push through it. And some you gotta kind of swallow a little bit of pride and go do something like that. I know in the article it says, Chad was a little bit apprehensive about opening up to someone like that, and because he's always confided in his dad and all that stuff, and that and that was something very new, and overcome, swallowing some pride and say, okay, I'm going to do this. That's pretty cool. Definitely a side of Chad Red that we've never seen, really. So that's some of us kind of think he doesn't seem human at times, as good of a wrestler as he's always been, and he is human, believe it or not. I mean, he does have some good dance moves, about as good as mine, but but yeah. So, and he's been wrestling pretty well this year, so kind of looking forward to him kicking
Yeah.
some butt.
Don Demas got him, but like other than that, he's been wrestling real well.
Yes.
Don Demas gets a lot of people. Though.
Yes. The inside trip.
How did this break down? Who all won their brackets? I like the build up for it.
Yeah.
I seen how Chad won the last one.
Yeah. Chad won the. Shoot. Let's see where we at.
Because you had it bracketed up different, right? Like you actually kind of went more seeding this time.
Yeah. The winners of each were Micic, senior Micic at 126. Junior.
Who was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah. Junior Red, junior Asa Garcia, freshman Mendez. They all won theirs, and then the other guys. Oh man, this is just this is just an ugly. You have Brock Hudkins Senior, Jared McKinley Senior, Brandon Wright Senior, and that's one that I kind of. Wright is tough. Wright was a Fargo champ. He was legit tough. He was as good as they come. Nick Kroom Senior, who's pretty darn good, ended up being a 4-time D2 All-American. Kyle Ersman Senior, Kyle
Ersman also wanted me to reconfirm that he only had the 2 losses and that his favorite player on the Minnesota Vikings was Randy Moss.
Nice. And then you have Alec White, who beat like 6 state champions just to get to the finals, and is technically based on state championship credentials. His easiest match was in the finals. So
yeah, that was a grind that year.
Yeah, and and if you look back and some people picked him, but not a lot of people did. So that's a tough weight class. But yeah, and you have Mendez, who pretty much by the end of his freshman year, kind of when you kind of come, end that year would have been like Fargo. He was ranked number 1 in the country as a freshman, which is super rare for an Indiana guy because we don't get to go to a lot of the big events during the season. So we have to go to, like, as we've seen with Mendez, he's gone to pretty much every event he can possibly do.
Yeah.
So.
And he's done well. Wrestled for the USA.
Yes.
As a freshman, so not a bad freshman year.
Yeah, so that way, man, I don't even know who I'd pick. I'd say senior Micic.
I would say they're a little low on Asa here too, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's in the 20s and Asa's at 8. I think Asa should have pushed us a little bit more on the Twitter, but
Yeah.
I think they're selling my guy short.
Yeah, no, Junior Asa was pretty dominant there. Beat Caden Rooks in the finals. Guy who, they had quite a rivalry. Now they're teammates. So Micic senior year, man. He just lights out. Period. But Brandon Wright. Yeah. I know. And we've said this more than once that those 2010 guys, people are kind of forgetting how good those guys really were. And Wright was tough. Wright was as good as one of the 4-time finalists. Only time he lost in the finals was to Eppert. Him and Eppert had some.
Yeah, that was a nice little rivalry too.
Yeah. I don't think they're exchanging. They might now, but since they're a little more grown up. But they weren't exchanging Christmas cards at that time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the Brandon Wright Cameron Eppert rivalry, pretty good run there.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best rivalries. You think of the best rivalry. They've wrestled 3 times in the state finals, so that's enough to say that's probably a pretty darn. And then sectional, regional, whatever they went through. There.
Plus, that match was responsible for one of my favorite comments at the state finals, where a young Eric McGill said that if Camden Eppert rode out of Brandon Wright, he would walk home from Indianapolis. Camden Eppert rode him out. He did not walk home. So
there have been some interesting comments in events, in minor betting, pride betting. Circumstances, I guess, of eating certain things and walking home from certain places.
I'm holding Chad to that Muncie bet, even when they combine schools. When they're gonna get this Muncie. Was it Muncie Central or was it Elkhart Central?
As Elkhart Central.
Yeah, so when Elkhart combines schools, I'm still gonna hold Chad to that bet.
Nice. So yeah, that's a pretty deep weight class. This week we have 130/132.
I mean, just to kind of touch on it, all those guys have had pretty good success. I mean, Ace is having success on the open circuit right now.
Yeah.
Chad Red, 2-time All-American. Stefan, even though he's the oldest, he's still eligible to compete. He's taking Olympic red shirts.
He's taking 6
How many
Olympic red
red shirts does
shirts.
Stefan have?
He's going to be collecting Social Security before he. But he was young. He was actually young for his grade too, so he's not as bad as some of them. But this will be his.
You know, they used to make the joke. They said like, what they would ask other people, not Stefan, but like, what's he gonna be when he graduates? And people would be like, oh, he's gonna be a doctor. He's gonna be this. Like, nah, he's gonna be 30.
Nice. Now, this
I
is
like Stefan.
technically
He's
his
a good kid.
third red shirt. He did a regular red shirt, and I think that the second year was actually a Olympic red shirt. And this is his second Olympic red shirt. And then he's actually wrestling at the Olympics. So, I mean, you got to consider that's pretty, I mean, he's already got a spot locked up at the Olympics, which is pretty impressive.
What if this guy goes out on medals at the Olympics and then he has to come back and wrestle his senior year?
Yeah. Yeah, medals at the Olympics, and I'm just going to wrestle NCAs. I mean, just for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, at that time, I don't know what you do there. So, yeah. And Hudkins having some good success. He's ranked 7th, I think, NCAA wise. Wright was a couple-time NEI champ. Kareem 4-time.
Really good on really good in like the U.S. Opens and stuff like that, though.
Yeah, he won the U.S.
I think he
Open
really,
title few years ago. I know he's been training pretty hard. He's going to be probably going to the U.S. Open in a couple weeks. He's kind of stuck between weights because he's basically a 61. He can't go down to 57, but I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
He said he's going to go up to 65, which he'll be able to do all right there. But I mean, it's still that's the fun of weight classes in the Olympics that he's going to have to go up.
You can use that for another day because you know what? That really pisses me off. The Olympic weight really pisses me off.
Yes.
We have 2 possible gold medals, so they got to like cut weight because they can't even get in the lineup.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. There's going to be a couple.
Possibly one of the best guys in the world right now.
Yeah.
And Jaden Cox.
Yeah.
They don't have his weight for the Olympics.
Yeah. Jaden Cox and is going to go up against a world champion either way, whether he goes up or down. And then you have Kyle Dake, who has to go down, and so you're gonna have 2 world champions there, wrestling for a spot in the Olympics. Yeah. Anyway.
You got cheating Russia over here.
Yes. Oh, Mrs. Bentz is curious about the equestrian gold medal in Tokyo.
Hey, give a little backstory though. Tell them what your degree's in.
I do have an equine business management degree from the University of Findlay, but I haven't been keeping up on the equestrian side of things.
There's some things you hear, and I wanted to know. When they say ride them hard and put them away wet, Joe explained to me, you got to like dry your horse off before you put it away and get sick.
Yes. Yeah, you can't put them away wet; they'll get sick. Just like after you get done, wrestling practice, you shower, you cool off, you don't wear your sweaty clothes all the way home. At least I hope not. That's how ringworm happens, and Potego and all that fun stuff. So this week, actually I was wrong, is McKinley junior year. We got Jared McKinley senior year, Cody LeCount sophomore year, Chad Red senior, where he beat Red, Jason Surtsis.
No, he beat Lee.
Or Lee, sorry. I'm sorry. Duh. Jason Surtsis sophomore year, Nick Lee junior year, Graham Rooks senior year, Neil Malloy senior year, DeAndre Wilson senior year, Braden Bailey senior year, Asa Garcia senior year.
Was it Neil Malloy? That's Neil Malloy's sophomore year, right?
Sophomore, yes, sorry. Yeah, because he was like at 45. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. You got a couple Perry Meridian guys there. You got Surtsis, and yeah, that's good.
So you got some legends. Like, you're getting some legends. Like, not like, oh, man, like, this guy was really good for one season. You got, like, Nick Lee basically his senior year because he didn't do a senior year.
Yeah.
You have Chad Red, who beat Nick Lee as a sophomore, coming off a broken back and one of the best state final matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That lived up to the hype.
Yes.
Second best. Shout out to Ricky Samuels and Robert Samuels and Ricky
Clark.
Big Rick Clark.
Yes. Yeah, you got DeAndre Wilson, who, wrestled 4 years and had 2 state titles. Braden Bailey. We're getting D. Benz is sending text.
Yep.
Oh goodness.
Cut him in, man. Give him a spot. We
He's
need,
like-
we need to turn the volume up.
He's like, my wife. Look at your buddies on Facebook or on Facebook. Let me see your phone. Nice.
They
Nice.
Yeah, the 32 is going to be nasty, man. That's going to be a good one, too. I think here on out, you're starting to get some guys that were finishing in that like 4-time, 3-time range that are going to be tough.
Yeah, yeah. And then the week after, we're going to have basically 3 weights combined, 35, 38, and 40. So that's going to be, even crazier. So I'm not even looking for that one's going to be even juicier. But yeah, there's some good guys there. I'm kind of looking forward to the voting because this might get ugly. I know Braden Bailey's going to use that Twitter to his advantage because he wants to get a lot of votes. Nick Lay doesn't really do social media very much. So
he's out doing other things right now.
Yeah, like winning match, like just printing switches and wings. He's going straight old school.
Yeah, man, he's so good. He's so
yeah,
good.
yeah, and he's starting to do pretty well. So it's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so that I'm gonna try to put that up tomorrow sometime. That way we have a few extra days to vote and people can kind of get after it. Make sure you guys check out lots of good events going on this week. Check out our little article that we posted. It's on all the social media outlets that I subscribe to. So that way, if you see a match, you're wondering where the matches are, go see them. Hopefully the times are at least semi-correct. So lots of good matches going on this week. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what goes on this week as far as some of the results and starting to get the heat of the season. So a lot of good stuff going on. Any comments from you, Mike?
Yeah. This is a closing comments. Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah, because I think it's almost time for that duel. I want to see DeSanto and Gross.
Shout out to Graham Calhoun committing, right?
Oh yes, I almost forgot about that. Speaking of Wisconsin, Graham Calhoun just committed to Wisconsin. They're bringing in a pretty nice class, and I think that's a real good school. So
yeah. Other than that, not too much, man. Go out, support your local wrestling team. Vote on your favorite state champs. Everyone has a favorite state champ. My favorite state champ, Thurman Stone, 1999.
Yes.
He doesn't get to be in the vote.
Yeah. No, maybe we need to do 20 years. Goodness, that'd be.
I think he's outside of that now too, right? That'd be right on the brink. So, awesome, man. Awesome week. I think next week's we're going to really start getting heated up. We start getting a lot of these matches, and it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. I mean, we'll have a lot to talk about. We'll have new rankings probably either later tonight or early tomorrow. So look forward to those. And Dane's gonna probably get some new rankings out next week, sometime after this week's action, because there's gonna be a lot of changes there. There's a lot of teams starting to see the lineups, which is it's kind of hard to project lineups sometimes. Sometimes you project guys that are teams with 3 guys that aren't even on the roster.
Yeah, sometimes you see a guy and then you find out he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, and you're just like, wow, that's crazy. He was really good.
Yeah. So.
And then people call you an idiot and make you cry. It hurts, guys.
Yes. So we'll be back next week talking more and more wrestling. Lots of great events going on, so I'm kind of eager to get this week started. Starts, a lot of good matches. So with that, I think we're going to let you guys go and go watch Big Ten Network. There should be some good wrestling there.
See ya.